AI as part of a business strategy?
I love the webinar. I like hearing how Mike, Joe, and Sal, each in their respective industries, use AI. I mean, they covered other industries as well as in healthcare, manufacturing. There's like very different uses for it, and I like that they got into detail with that sort of stuff.
You know, I love that the approach for this one was more of the applications of AI in business and how different business leaders and even, you know, every single individual, every working professional can start using AI in their everydays. You know, the most interesting thing was really talking about how with generative AI, it's really, you know, best used when you have, as Joe said, troves of data that you can use, because it can sort through things and give you more information, help you understand large documents, pull out key things, analyze spreadsheets, and really create blogs, you know, source content to write blogs, videos, images, there are all these different things, even, you know, all the way to writing SQL code and creating predictive, you know, using predictive modeling to determine maintenance on machinery for engineering, for example.
I think Sal touched on that, on how like manufacturers are using AI to sort of like detect and see what maintenance needs to be done to the machines, which is really cool. It makes it faster, more efficient, and like that's why you're using AI.
Yep, and I think that was, you know, I think a large part of the AI discussion that's going on right now is, are machines going to take over the world? Like, are computers going to take my job? And I feel like Mike said it best when he said, you won't be replaced by AI, you'll be replaced by someone who uses AI.
Yeah, it's, if you know how to use AI, if you can use it for your content creation, for any sort of, even like manufacturing, how to use it for their machinery, you will be 10 times better at what you do.
Exactly.
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. It gives you an extra boost. It kind of takes that first iteration and does it for you, so you can really dive in and start tweaking. And I think one term that all three speakers used was co-pilot. And I know Microsoft is developing a system specifically called Copilot, but they also used it in just the general sense of the word, where AI is a great co-pilot for professionals, whether you're reviewing legal documents, writing new policies for your business, trying to explain technical information to a non-technical audience. It's a great tool to give you a first step with all of this information sourced, and then you can go in and you can, you know, edit and make it match your company, your voice, your brand.
I think Sal mentioned like finance using that as like basically having your own actuary that like looks over like documents and all that sort of stuff, and it's a quick, easy way to like submit something for review and get like a second set of eyes on it, and the more you use it, the more accurate it'll be.
Yeah, and I think in terms of inputs too, they stress, you know, make sure you're not putting any sensitive or private information into any of these AI tools. And I think the way that I think about it the best is, don't put any information into a tool like ChatGPT or Claude AI or Bard or anything like that you wouldn't post on social media. And I feel like that's a good gauge, where if you're okay with whatever text or code or documents you're putting into this machine being on social media, then it's a safe thing to put out there, because it is, you know, an open source. So as soon as you put information in there, if you put data in there, it has that data, it's going to use that data. So just as much as it can help you get ahead, it can also cause a security risk if you're not careful about what information you're entering in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it gets fed so much data that if you accidentally submit something that's like sensitive or private, they can't just go in and like look for it and delete it in their server. Like it's in there forever, and it's kind of hard to just like pinpoint and take that out. And like you said, potentially it can make its way online.
Yeah.
It can really hurt a company.
Yeah, so really important to be careful about what you're putting in there. But still, that shouldn't be a deterrent to use it, because it is a tool that's really gonna help organizations move ahead. And one of the biggest challenges that they discussed was user adoption and how to get employees and people comfortable actually using AI tools in their everyday lives.
I think the co-pilots, like what Microsoft has, is like easy, like starting sort of like entryway into using AI. And since you're already familiar with Microsoft, you already sort of like know the functions of it, and it's like a good starting point for it. So I think it's nice for people to ease into it that way.
Yeah, and I mean, you see it everywhere, right? You see it in a lot of the systems you use. It'll be like improve with AI,
Mm-hmm.
and it's already built into a lot of different different software systems and things like that. So one of the things that Mike recommended for companies to do in terms of encouraging that user adoption is really focus on a top-down approach. So starting at leadership and having leadership encourage employees to use different systems and just continue to test it, because there is kind of an art to prompting an AI tool to give you the output that you want. I know you use it a lot in the design world, and I'm sure you can attest to how hard it is to write the prompt that gives you the image or the result that you're actually looking for.
Yes, it is not always accurate. It does not always give you what you're looking for, but the more you play around with it, the more you kind of learn what information needs to be fed to get that result that you want, the better outcome you get.
Yeah. So I think for me, my biggest takeaways from this were it's great when you're sifting through a lot of data. It's really great for a creative process, and especially one that requires multiple iterations. And it's great as a co-pilot. So it's helping you. It's not replacing you.
That's the biggest thing. AI is here to help,
Yep.
not replace.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to our next webinar.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Cybersecurity for Nonprofits with Riley Cameron from iMission and our very own Derek Jakes.
Awesome.